I just wanted to take a moment to share with you from Sunday's thought, and that is an encouraging word for imperfect people, or an encouraging word for flawed people. We do know that we are flawed human beings. The fact that we are human beings in itself suggests that we are flawed. And flawed just simply means that we are not perfect, that we make mistakes, that we have done some things that we're really not proud of to ourselves and to other people. And the truth of the matter is, we have probably done some things that others will not let go. You know, people have a way of reminding us of our imperfections. They have a way of reminding us of our stumbling blocks. They have a way of reminding us of what we used to be, the places that we used to go. Have you ever in your life experienced or run into a person or persons that reminded you of what you used to be? You know, here you are trying to move on in your life, trying to move away from the stumbling block and or issue that kept you down. And the more you tried to get out, the more somebody wanted to remind you that of what you did, that suggested that you weren't any good, or that you were never going to get any better or be any better than what you are now. When I look at this text from the 18th chapter of Luke, verses 9 through 14, it's the story of the Pharisee and the tax collector. Very quickly, you know the story. They both are praying. Jesus shares this parable, and they are praying. And the Pharisee, of course, he prays erect with his shoulders back, and he's looking up into heaven with his proud and boisterous self, and he says that he thanks God that he's not like other men. Can you imagine that? And then he lists out extortioners or adulterers. And then he turns around and he says, or like this tax collector. He makes reference to a particular person, a particular individual in his prayer, when he should have been praying about, Lord, I thank you for how you have blessed me in spite of my faults, failures, and frailties. He wants to point out someone else's mishaps and mistakes. But the tax collector, he looks down in a position of humility, and he beats his breast, and he simply asks God to forgive him, he being a sinner, and he calls himself a sinner in the text, and he asks for God's forgiveness. Wow. Which one is the one we should pattern our lives behind? I know you know the answer. It is the tax collector. It is the one who admits that he has an issue, and not just that he has an issue, but one who goes before God and asks that God would forgive him and help him overcome the issue or the challenge that he faces in his life, where, of course, the Pharisee does not even see his issue, because he's so busy pointing out the issue of someone else. And so I would say to you today, here's the thought. We should be Christ-like enough to recognize our own faults, our own mistakes, our own failings, and then go before God and say, Lord, forgive me of the wrong that I've done. I know I'm wrong. I know I made a mistake. And we ought to do it with an humble spirit, with the expectation or anticipation that God is going to deliver us, that God is going to move us beyond our brokenness. We should never follow in the steps of the Pharisee, the one who constantly looks in the backyard of other people, the one who constantly seeks to point out the faults of others without pointing out the faults within themselves, because we miss out on the opportunity to clean our lives up and to begin to move in a new direction. Yes, we are imperfect. Yes, we are flawed. Yes, we make mistakes. All of us do. But aren't you glad today that we serve a God who looks beyond our faults and supplies all of us with our needs? What an awesome word. What a wonderful God we serve. And I promise you today that if you exemplify the life of the tax collector in the text and move away from that Pharisaic attitude, you will find yourself not only overcoming the issues that you have in your life, but becoming stronger so that you will not fall back into those problems and issues that you faced in your past. But then God will also give you the endurance and the strength to overcome the challenges you have in the future. Once again, we're not pointing out other people's faults and failings. Nope, we're not doing that. What we're doing is we're recognizing our own faults and failures, and we're asking God to help us overcome our issues. But dig this, but then you can also pray that God will help others to overcome the challenges and the struggles that they face in their lives. Listen, I'm just so glad that I had an opportunity to share with you just a few trinkets and treasures from God's treasure chest. And I pray that you will take them and utilize them and be everything that God has destined you to be. Again, God bless you, and we look forward to sharing with you again on next week.